Hi, thanks for joining us at the Behavioural Software Club. I'm Andy Brown, and today we're going to look into the human factors that cause project estimates to go wrong. Now, a little while ago, I was on a project to replace a treasury management system. Our client was a large energy company, and it was a big project, maybe 40 people for more than 2 years. It was late and over budget. Now, the system we were replacing was around 20 years old, and I bet that when they delivered that project, it was late and over budget too. Moreover, I'm willing to bet that when this new system is eventually replaced, in around 20 years' time, it too will be delivered late and over budget. Now, replacing one treasury system with another is not the cutting edge of technology. The new system doesn't do much that the old one can't do, and it's out-of-the-box software. So why are we unable to estimate projects like this accurately? It's not just software development that gets estimates wrong. Take the Olympics. Now, this really is something we should be able to estimate right. After all, it's fairly predictable. Every 4 years, we choose a city, build a stadium, play the same games, engage in a bit of state-organised cheating, and hand out some gold medals. It's the same thing every 4 years. So really, we should be able to accurately estimate our costs. However, the London 2012 Olympics was 76% over budget. Rio de Janeiro was 51% over. The Montreal Olympics were a whopping 720% over, and the average error since 1960 is 160%. Clearly, we have a problem. Poor estimation has some severe consequences for us. It distorts our decision making. We may fund a project that should never have gone ahead, or select an option that looks best but actually is the least accurate estimate. It makes planning and coordination more difficult. It makes allocating resources troublesome. And it makes a mockery of measurement, control and improvement. Plus, we suffer a whole host of other problems that we'll explore in another session. Now, loads of people have already tried to improve estimation, and there are loads of books on this subject. Some approaches, such as Agile or the no estimate movement, try to minimize or even avoid estimates. However, we can't really avoid them. And despite all the books, techniques and methodologies on this subject, we're still no closer to producing accurate estimates than we were 50 or more years ago. So, why can't we produce accurate estimates? It's because we're missing a fundamental part of the problem, and we'll look at that now. Suppose you plotted out all project estimates and compared them to actual project deliveries. You then see the spread of errors in those estimates. Now, if those errors were entirely due to random chance events, we'd see as many projects overestimated as underestimated. But that's not what we see at all. Instead, we see something quite different. We see most projects are underestimated, some to a significant degree. Almost no projects are overestimated. So look closely at that graph. It's telling us something extremely important. It's telling us that errors in project estimation are not due to random noise. They cannot be. If they were, we'd see a symmetrical bell-shaped curve centered around the actual value. And we definitely don't see that. Instead, we see a systematic bias towards underestimation. Of course, as soon as you mention systematic bias and humans, then the behavioural scientists get very excited, start jumping up and down, shouting cognitive bias. And yes, there are several cognitive biases acting upon us when we produce an estimate. These biases are anchoring and adjustment, overconfidence effect, optimism bias, planning fallacy, and the show-off hypothesis. Now, all of these are independent biases. However, when we try to produce a project estimate, these biases all distort us in the same direction, that of underestimation. In some later videos, we'll look at each of these biases in more detail. We'll explore why they exist, what benefit they provided our ancestors in our evolutionary past, and we'll explain how and why they distort us towards underestimation. Now, in addition to these biases, there are some other factors that also drive project underestimation, and we'll look at these in later sessions too. These biases are technology uncertainty, gold plating, intentional manipulation or somebody else's problem, and adverse selection. We'll see how these also drive underestimation. Plus, we'll use systems thinking to understand why project underestimation will still occur even if we removed all the biases mentioned earlier. Another thing, projects are underestimated, we know that. But if we look closely at the project delivery against the original estimate, then we'll see something else that's important. So look at the upper and lower values for the estimate compared to the actual delivery. Those upper and lower values normally represent the 90% confidence limits. If they'd been set correctly, then 90% or 9 out of 10 actual project deliveries should fall between the upper and lower values of the estimate. However, we don't see that at all. What we see is that when the project is finally delivered, it's delivered far outside those limits. This is also telling us something important. It's telling us that the way we estimate those limits is wrong, and there's probably a cognitive bias acting upon it somewhere. Now, in later sessions, we'll see that there are actually two biases driving those unrealistically narrow confidence limits: anchoring and adjustment and the overconfidence effect, and we'll examine these in more detail. So, to recap, most software projects are underestimated. We've had this problem for more than 50 years. Loads of people have tried to fix it, but it's still there. This problem's still here because we've never fully understood all its causes, which include a series of human biases such as anchoring, overconfidence and optimism. And you can tell biases are involved because our estimates are systematically skewed in one direction, exactly what you'd expect if a bias was present. Now, we will continue to underestimate projects and suffer the consequences until we take the time to systematically understand these biases and address them. Now, improving your estimation won't magically turn a 6-month overdue project into one that's on track, but it will tell you that project's really going to take 1 year, not 6 months. So you can plan correctly, or decide if you even want to do it at all. So, if you want to break free from the tyranny of poor estimation, join us at the next session and take your first step on the path towards a world of accurately estimated projects. If you've enjoyed this session, please give us a thumbs up on the link below. And if you're interested in this topic, please hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again.